On this episode of the Handicappers, we'll be talking about the return of the one and the only GSP, Conor McGregor versus Floyd Money Mayweather, and Cody Garbrandt taking on not one but 2 titles.
Stay tuned, guys.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, Handicappers back again with In Between Rounds. This is going to be a snapshot of MMA news. We're going to come at you with what's happening in MMA today. Keep you posted with the best topics, what's going on with the upcoming UFC events. And, Vinny and I, we like to get into a little rants and just talk about, what's going on at this time, who's going to be coming upcoming fights for the next 3 to 4 months. And, we like to keep updated and keep you guys updated. So
yeah, we go on these crazy tangents all the time. We wish we would record them. So now we're doing it. And
we're doing it. We're committing it. We're going to do it for you guys and, keep you guys
We're going to do it over some coffee, pinkies out, whatever.
Yeah, we're just hanging out, having a good time, and let's get right into it. So,
well, first thing I want to talk about is let's talk about the possibility of Jacare and Yoel Romero doing a rematch for the number 1
awesome
title
topic.
spot.
Yeah, man, I think it was a really close fight. Some people thought.
You remember that fight?
Yeah, some people thought Jacare won. I could have won either way. I thought Yoel did enough to win. But I think it's a close fight. I think Jacare's got nothing but better. He looks incredible, but so does Yoel Romero. He looks almost unstoppable. I mean, he's a monster. His wrestling's on another level, and I think that just negates so much of Jacare's game. His game is that jiu-jitsu. He likes to do top pressure, take you down, get full mount, and just pressure, man.
Well, the thing is that, okay, so for that first fight, I bet on Yoel Romero.
Uh-huh.
But, I still thought he lost, but I was happy he won because I put money on him, obviously. But I think Jacare is noticeably better. I think Jacare has better striking. I think he's a more technical striker. And he doesn't gas out nearly as fast as Yoel Romero. Yeah, Yoel Romero,
he went those 3 rounds with Chris Weidman. He looked really good.
That was the first time he's done that.
That was his last fight. You're only as good as your last fight.
100%.
Didn't he knock Chris Weidman out in the 3rd round?
Oh, well, yeah, TKO'd him. Yeah, TKO'd him. But
ridiculous name.
But the thing is that Jacare, I feel like, is more technical, has more in the gassing. I think they rematch is a different fight. I think Jacare brings it to him a little more.
I think it's close, but I think Yoel Romero definitely learned some things from that as well. That he has to, if he's going to push the pace that high, he needs to be ready for those later rounds, just because he knows Jacare is going to be.
Dude, he's arguably one of the best jiu-jitsu artists in the UFC.
Well, but the thing is, I like really strong wrestlers in these type of matchups because I feel like they control where the fight goes. I don't think Jacare is going to control it. I don't think Jacare is going to be able to repeatedly take Yoel down.
So wait, you're telling me you think Yoel Romero beats Jacare if they rematch?
Again, I think his stand-up looked pretty good. I think it's a close call. I thought the first one was a close call. Yoel won. I didn't bet that fight. I thought it was too risky of one to call. But I would take Yoel again. He showed no signs of slipping up. He deserves that title fight, and I think that'll be our next topic here.
Because they're both technically tied for that number 1 spot. That's the big issue.
No, Yoel is definitely, and even Bisping came out and said, I apologize to Yoel. It sucks for Yoel that he's going to have to wait because I'm fighting a 40-year-old acrobat. You know what I mean? It's just I don't understand what the UFC doing, and this is what we'll get into next.
What do you mean you don't understand what they're doing? They got bought out by an entertainment company.
Yes, and that's exactly what's happening. I'm glad you bring that up. But let me just bring everybody. So Michael Bisping is going to be defending his belt against George St. Pierre. And I know there's tons of people saying, awesome, George St. Pierre is fighting. But that, to me, is just horrible for the sport. You're just saying that someone from 5 years ago, 4 years ago, however long it's been, could say, hey, I want to go fight for a belt. I don't want to earn it. You know what I mean?
Well,
at a weight class that I never even fought at.
Here's the thing. I don't want to repeat what everyone else is saying on here, but unfortunately I have to because this is what's happening.
Yeah.
You have an entertainment company, WME or whatever the fuck their name is. For sure cost me my job, but WME, they when they bought this company, they spent $4 billion on it, right?
Do they own AT&T?
I'm sorry.
You said it cost you a job. Did they
No. When I was supposed to go do an internship for the UFC. When they got bought out,
I see.
They stopped all the internships. So this guy didn't get it. But after I was told it was all good. Anyways, so when they got bought out, yeah, I know I'm super salty about it, as you can tell. When they got bought out, they spent $4.2 billion on purchasing the UFC. Now they want to make that money back, right? So they didn't go into it buying the company thinking we're just going to own it forever. They wanted to get it build it up, and flip it, right? And so they're trying to make that $4.2 billion nut back.
They're rushing it.
Well, it's not that they're rushing it. They're putting together entertaining fights. They are, but unfortunately, from an MMA purist, it's not right because they're letting people fight for title fights that shouldn't be allowed to fight for title fights. You have guys like Yoel Romero, Jacare. I mean, these motherfuckers got to eat, right?
Yes.
You're costing them money. They're not fighting for those title fights.
Well, and these guys are starting to say like, "Hey, man, I'll go fight at Bellator. I'll dip out. Like, this isn't the only way that I can get paid." 3 years ago, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Well, we're seeing that. We're seeing top 5 fight or top 3 ranked fighters have left
Michael
the UFC.
McDonald.
It was the most recent one.
Misha Serkinov.
Yeah. How do you let Misha Serkinov
undefeated
finishing as great? He's training up in
finished
Canada.
his last 4 fights,
He's training up in Canada at TriStar.
Kamuela, pull up Serkinov. Let's see his. I'm pretty sure his last 4 fights were.
Yeah,
Kamuela's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, the computer freezes up. I'm sorry, way too much porn. But we'll get our computer back up and he'll look up some. But dude, Misha Serkinov, he's training up in Canada with
TriStar.
At TriStar with Firas Zahabi, GSP, who's gonna be fighting Bisping. So he's got like really good people with him and a really good. I can only imagine what must have happened. So what I heard with Misha Serkinov was that he wanted more money because he wasn't making diddly squat, and Dana White was just basically like, no, like. We're not going to give him money, but he's from he's not from Russia. He's from like a country that's basically Russian, right? So they were like, well, there's Russian organizations that are offering me like 3 times the amount of money than you are, and he's like, if you don't pay me this thing, I'm just going to go fight for them.
And that's what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, and honestly. Yes, UFC is the platform where you're going to be famous, but unfortunately, only a handful of guys are going to get the cream of the pot, like Ronda Rousey did, like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, here's the thing: for the low end of the UFC, for the guys that most of you guys probably don't even know their names, they aren't getting paid like what you think they're getting paid. They're getting paid low.
Dude, it's so funny,
and they don't get any sponsorship money. That's the thing. When the Reebok, when Reebok overtook itself as the sole sponsor of the UFC, these guys used to make hand over foot for all the sponsors on their shorts, on their banner, and all that. Now they're getting none of that money and strictly what the UFC pays.
Dude, I had a conversation with someone. They were like, I can't believe Ben Henderson left the UFC. Like, he's going to make so much less money at Bellator. Why would he do that? I'm like, yo, first of all, punch yourself in the face. You have no idea what you're talking about. Let me tell you how this works. The UFC, unless you're a top like 5 fighter, you're lucky if you make like $60,000 to show, $60,000 to win. Or if you're lower, it's like the bare minimum is 30 to show 30. It used to be even lower. Now it's 30 to show 30 to win.
They used to make $5,000.
So let's say you lose, you make $30,000, right? Fighters normally fight like maybe 3 times a year. That's $90,000 a year, and you're like, well, that's almost 6 figures. That's great. Well, you have to put this into consideration. Number one, it's prize money. Prize money is taxed at 40%, right? Or is it 60%? It's 60 or 40%. It's something insane. And then you also have number 2. You got to pay your gym. You got to pay your gym.
Yeah,
you got to pay your
training
camp. You're a nutritionist if you have one.
Yeah.
Your management. So you have all these little
it's not
10%.
A cheap sport,
you have all these little 10%, 5%. All this shit going out.
You normally have an agent of some sort.
Yeah, and by the time you're done, so let's say a hypothetical. Let's say you won $60,000 for a fight. All right. And it's prize money. And I'm pretty sure, Kamuela, is it 60% or 40%? I remember we had this conversation.
I believe it's 40%.
Was it 40%?
It's not more than half.
Okay, so it's 40%. So 40% of your purse leaves, right? So all right, cool. So now you've got what? You've got $40,000 from the 60 now. So you got $40,000, right? And then 10% of that goes to your gym. Okay, you just lost $4,000. Okay, 10% of that goes to your management. All right, you lost another like $4,000. And as you keep doing it, you're lucky if you walk away.
The point is, so you're
with like
they're not making
$20,000.
what you think they're making.
Yeah, you walk away with $20,000. And if you take the hours of work it took to get to that fight, you're making like you're making less than the minimum wage.
Yeah, it's real unrealistic for these guys to be making this type of money, especially when you have Bellator who's coming out and saying they got guaranteed money. Was it at least $30,000 a fight or something like that?
No, the Bellator's paying. Here's the thing: Bellator's paying a little bit less than the UFC because they don't have the ratings, but the sponsorships they allow you to have makes up for that, and then that's how you make more money. Like Ryan Bader's another guy that just left the UFC, top 3 fighter. And he wasn't doing bad. He was just on he was just on a little tear. Lost to Anthony Robo Johnson, respectable loss. Okay, And so
let's be real, he wasn't taking no belts. You know what I mean? So
no, but he's
I
still
feel like that was his best decision, was to go do what's right for his pocket, get the sponsorship money, because he does have a recognizable name to where he can make good money with sponsors.
Especially in Arizona.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so...
But, no, I think their biggest loss, man, Lorenz Larkin was looking incredible.
Oh, my God. How do you let Lorenz Larkin go?
See, that's how WME ruins the sport, is when you let... So, the old dogs like Ryan Bader that aren't going to win belts anymore, some of them are going to stray away. I understand that. But when you lose the young... upcoming prospects
like Lorenz Larkin,
that's when the bottom falls out. That's
like,
when
we were talking about what would have been the dopest fight ever would have been Lorenz Larkin and Masvidal. They already fought. I would have liked to see a rematch though.
Did they fight?
Yeah, and Lorenz Larkin won.
Yeah.
But I would like to.
35%, by the way,
the tax is 35.
At the highest, the max they can take out would be 35.
Okay.
And that's prize money tax, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But Lorenz Larkin, I think Masvidal didn't perform to how he normally does in that fight. I think he was a little nervous coming in because it's Lorenz Larkin.
And the Masvidal of today is not the Masvidal of yesterday.
No, Masvidal's on fire right now.
Top of his game.
But how do you let that guy go? Like, that guy could have been a future champion. He beat Robbie Lawler back in the day.
Yeah.
In Strike, was it Strike Force?
It was decisively too. I think Larkin was at the top of his game. But let's go back to what we were initially about to talk about. Michael Bisping's about to fight GSP.
Yeah.
Who do you got now? I mean, Michael Bisping to me is I'm just gonna go out and say I think he's the softest champion in the UFC right now. I think he's the softest champion that the UFC's had in the last 5 years. I don't think if he fought any other one in the actual top 5, not Dan Henderson. Who else did he fight?
I mean,
who else did he defend it from?
Well,
he beat Luke Rockhold,
which was in my opinion, a fluke.
Because Rockhold completely
being a cocky little bitch.
Yes, and he completely just looked over him, and then he beat Dan Henderson. Has he won anything?
Dan Henderson won like 2 of his last 10 fights.
Dan Henderson's 47. I mean, don't quote me on that. He's old. I mean, and now he's fighting GSP, who's old, who hasn't been inside an octagon in
Dan
in
Henderson
5 years.
is the poster boy of CT. Have you heard him trying to have a conversation? It is rough. I just want to give him a hug.
Well, I mean, he's given so much to the sport. You got to respect that.
No, 100%. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, no, Dan Henderson's awesome.
One of my friend's dads was his dad's
hasn't
wrestling
fought
coach.
Any of these top guys, Gegard Mousasi, Yoel Romero, Jacare Souza, I think all these guys would mop the floor with Bisping, and the UFC's allowed him to just continue to. You realize he's had the belt for over a year now?
That's insane.
That's great. Michael Bisping would lose to anyone in the top 5.
I agree.
And it is allowed.
But now, okay. So now we have GSP going. Obviously, WME's doing this to have. It's a publicity stunt to get ratings. We get that because it's GSP.
Yeah.
And Michael Bisping's a great shit talker. But here's the thing. Back in the day, I'm going GSP's fucking murdering Michael Bisping all day. But ring rust is real. I don't give a fuck what you say.
And this is the maximum amount of
Dominic Cruz was the exception, but ring rust is real.
Yeah.
Okay? He's not fought in a long time. If you guys don't know this about GSP, he was widely known for having mad anxiety before fights. Now, not having
Really?
he hasn't fought in 4 years?
5 years? Come on, look that up, please.
Was it 4 or 5 years?
This last fight was in 2013.
So, yeah, 4 years.
So he hasn't fought in 4 years. He's gonna be even more nervous this time.
Yeah.
And also,
didn't he take a year off before that one? He came back.
We had some knee problems.
Yeah. He tore his ACL.
But anyways, the
He's
game.
had injuries,
Listen, the game changes like every 6 months.
It's changed so much in this last year.
Yeah,
it's changed so much with these new movement coaches and stuff like that. The old Muay Thai, the guys that GSP were fighting and the styles that they had adapted are completely different than the guys than Tony Ferguson or than some of these guys that their movement
it's almost
is just
like a
beautiful.
Taekwondo styles.
Yes, like a
now.
Taekwondo, capoeira, like a movement's a huge part of it. You can't be there stationary. You can't that traditional Muay Thai doesn't have as high of a success rate as it used to 4 years ago. And Bisping is one of the guys that was fighting when GSP was fighting, but the thing is, he fought through that curve.
Yeah.
He continued to fight.
Well, he's been active. And let's fucking agree on this right now. His boxing looks phenomenal right now. It does.
He looks good.
Don't be a fucking douche.
I'm not going to say not phenomenal. I mean, I don't think that he's going to outbox some of the good
Bisping
boxers.
outboxed fucking Anderson Silva.
I thought he lost that fight.
Oh
I thought he definitely lost that fight. And also, how old's Anderson Silva? Anderson Silva isn't going to win the belt right now. I mean, he might if Bisping has the belt, but I'm just saying, like, he's not going to win the belt from
Not after that last
Yoel
fight,
Romero, or he's not going to win the belt from Gegard
I will say
Mousasi.
this with all analytics,
Jacare.
like when you're looking at this from like an analytical point of view, I really do think Bisping is going to be.
I give Bisping the edge, and
he's a bigger guy. He's more active. He's
GSP
not
never
really-
even fought at middleweight. He never
Yeah,
fought at
yeah,
185.
no.
And I mean, he was a big 170, but I mean, going up to 185, I think Bisping has the edge in size. He's been active. He has too many edges. I think GSP had a really good style at that time when he was fighting. He had
And
a
let's
really
be real.
aggressive.
And this is coming from probably the most diehard GSP fan ever. Like, I love GSP. There's a big poster of him in my room. All right, listen. He lost his last fight. Okay? I know he won it, technically. But if we're being real.
What was this? I don't remember his last fight.
Are you serious?
Was it Condit?
Stop.
I don't remember. GSP's last fight? It was 4 years ago, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yes, I'm serious. I don't remember GSP's last fight. Who was GSP's last fight?
Oh, my God.
Johnny Hendricks.
It's
Johnny Hendricks. Yeah, I don't remember. Neither of these guys are relevant anymore. I mean, no offense. Johnny Hendricks just won. Hector Lombard, I bet on him. That was cool. But I mean, neither of these guys are relevant.
But I'm
I mean,
saying, though, Johnny Hendricks beat the shit out of him.
And at the time, dude, Johnny Hendricks
he was super
was
scary.
fucking
He had
everyone
that
up.
scary power. No one knew where it came from, but it was like you're fighting him, and then 1 second you're not. And
Have
you're
you
just
seen that
sitting-
interview with his dad? His dad, he's all old, and he's like, so, what was Hendricks' life growing up? And he's like, well, he's like this like fat Texas old guy. He's like, well, he had two options. I told him, well, he could wrestle, or he could wrestle.
I heard that he had him. I heard he had him do like 200 push-ups.
The most
a night.
hillbilly fucking like Texas shit ever. I love.
I heard he had him do like 200 push-ups a night when he was like 10.
Yeah,
and he
I
was
don't
just
know.
slinging bail and stuff. Like, no, he built him to be this.
Do you
just
want to know what I
country
did when I was
strong.
10? I put on fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
and
I
I would
was
just do
chilling.
and I do push-ups in my room. This
I
motherfucker
had
do
to-
200 fucking belly ups or whatever.
Yeah, no, he was. And so, I mean, he had a real good wrestling career. I heard about Johnny Hendricks before he was in the UFC. I heard there's a wrestling move named after him, the Hendricks. So, I mean, he was real good wrestler. He was real good at one point in time. But GSP, I don't think he's going to win this fight, man. I think Bisping's going to win. And to me, that's even more upsetting.
I hate saying that, but I
Bisping's
agree.
going to defend the belt twice. He's going to have
yeah.
the belt for probably 2 consecutive years, maybe more.
Dude,
And
you know what
that's-
I want to see just for fun?
that's sad.
Just for fun. I want to see Conor McGregor versus GSP. Make that. If you're gonna do a money fight, make it a fucking money fight.
And then Conor McGregor became a joke, right? Because, okay, so now the whole thing, yeah, we got to talk about it. Conor and Floyd, which is awesome. I think it's great for the sport because you're going to get a lot of fans that necessarily – it could go 2 ways. It could be great for the sport because he's
The
going to
only
get a
thing
lot
that
of
sucks about
publicity.
this is it's a bias thing, right? So
Yeah.
he's okay. So why is Conor only doing boxing? Why doesn't Floyd have to come do an MMA fight?
Because that's unrealistic and he would die. I mean, you can't do that. And he
But
knows
not-
he can't.
But according to all the boxing fans,
Floyd would, yeah, because they're uneducated. But I mean, uneducated in the sports. I'm not gonna say all boxing fans are uneducated people, but I'm just saying they don't. If you truly think that Floyd Mayweather would stand a chance,
no, it'd be a
with a
30-second
mixed
fight.
martial
It'd
artist,
be a 30-second fight.
that's not real. You're talking about a sport.
He get
That's
kicked. He get kicked
That's like
right
saying
in
if
that pretty boy
LeBron
face.
came to the UFC. I mean, yeah, he's really good at one sport, but that doesn't mean that he's
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah, he's really good at playing with balls, but
he's
otherwise,
the greatest basketball player. And, you know, at this point in time, I think he might go down as the greatest ever, but that's another conversation. But
we just lost half our listeners.
He's not. He's not equipped to be a fighter. Floyd Mayweather, yes, because boxing involves hands and it's the sport of punching. People think that these guys are fighters, but they don't have to stuff takedowns. They don't have to block for knees and kicks, and it's a big money sport. Floyd Mayweather fought once a year. You know what I mean? And he would put the promotions. What Floyd Mayweather was able to do in his sport, he completely changed it forever. The money that he brought, he's made $300 million in one night. One night.
We did that one time, so it's not like he did that consecutively.
300. I don't care how many times he did. He made $300 million in one night. I mean,
Well, this fight's gonna break that. You know that. This will be the biggest fight in the history of
yes,
fights.
I truly believe that.
No,
I think
it's
it'll
not
be-
even like I believe. Like it's
It'll be
gonna
bigger
be the
than
biggest
Pacquiao.
fight. It's gonna shit on Pacquiao.
Yeah, because they fought when they were older. No, because everyone was interested in that.
Hey, it's gonna shit on the Pacquiao fight. It's gonna be the
Yes.
biggest fight in the history of fights.
And what's disappointing about that is so everyone's going to turn their eye to the UFC fighters now, and they're going to think, oh, these guys can't compete with boxing because, in my opinion, I think Floyd is going to destroy him. Connor's going to be lucky to get a few
all right,
punches
cool.
in.
All right, so before we get into that, let me break some stuff down that maybe you didn't think about.
Let's hear it.
Okay, have you seen the size difference between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather?
Connor's bigger. Absolutely.
He's not just bigger. He's a fucking giant next to Floyd Mayweather.
I haven't seen them like.
I saw it because
them person-
he's the same size as Chris Weidman. Believe that or fucking not.
Conor McGregor?
Yeah, they stand next to each
Really?
other, the same height and everything. And then there's a picture of Floyd Mayweather standing next to Chris Weidman, and it's like he's hanging out with his fucking 12-year-old son. Okay, yeah, Chris Weidman. Because they did a side-by-side picture of Chris Weidman and Conor, and they're literally the exact same size, and they did it between him and Floyd Mayweather, and it was like you took his fucking child to fucking Big Surf. All right, so it's so he's got that. He's gonna have the reach and the size, obviously speed and technique.
Look at Canelo next to Mayweather, and that's an incredible boxer.
And what I'm saying is, Mayweather's gonna have the speed and the technique, but Conor's really only way to win is in the first like 3 rounds, right? If he's got really 3 rounds to like just knock him out, and if he can't, Mayweather's obviously gonna have his way with him. But that size though, I just can't. I can't get over
6 rounds to sleep him. But the thing is,
it's not just a little. It's not a couple of inches though, Kelile. Conor McGregor is a fucking giant next to Floyd.
49 times, lost 0 of them. He's fought people with reach. He's fought people that were
not
bigger.
like this, bro. No, I swear. Hey, Kamuela, pull that picture up.
No, not the picture. Pull up the size difference between. Cause I remember that was a big thing when he fought Canelo.
Conor's 5'9".
Conor's 5'9". He's my height. Floyd Mayweather's what, 5'8", 5'7"?
No way.
He's not that much shorter.
Floyd Mayweather's shorter than me, bro.
5'8".
He's 5'8". That's 1 inch.
He's 5'8".
What's the reach difference? What, 3 inches, 2 inches? I mean, like, yeah, he's gonna be bigger. He's a bigger person. It's not that Jurassic. And it doesn't matter. So remember what I said about LeBron James coming to fight in the UFC? It's the exact same way if Conor decides to go box. It's a different sport. Conor's not a boxer. Conor, the one time that he got beat in the UFC was against a really good boxer, Nate Diaz. I mean, yes, he submitted him, but let's be real. He beat him at the hands.
Well,
and
yeah, no.
down.
So let's not get it twisted. First of all, I do think
Conor's not even the best boxer in the UFC.
I do think that Mayweather is going to win, but
I'd rather see Jorge Masvidal in Floyd.
I do think Mayweather's going to win, but I will say this though: if he touches him with that left hand, you never know. Hey, Mayweather's every fucking bit of 40 years old. Like, he's old as fuck.
He's also the greatest defensive boxer to ever live. And
100%.
Conor McGregor has a 74-inch reach. Mayweather has a 72-inch reach. So we're talking about 1 inch
on each hand. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's
bro. You got to pull up that picture I told you about though of them standing next to each other,
Weidman?
and it's unreal.
No, dude, McGregor looks a lot smaller than Weidman.
Dude, pull up the picture.
I just looked.
okay. Weidman's like probably what, 5'11", 6 foot. I mean, come on. Like, it's regardless about the whole Floyd Conor thing. There's not even a 1% chance Conor wins. Conor doesn't win out of 1,000 fights. Conor maybe wins 1 time out of 2,000 fights. Yeah,
Dude, no, they're not that much like different.
I mean, dude, they're in some sort of stance here. No, Chris Weidman's definitely the larger person. It doesn't matter. So we just saw the facts. He has what, 2 inches on him, 2 inches of reach and 1 inch of height. That's irrelevant. Floyd has definitely fought bigger people than Conor.
Who do you think
Wins the fight?
Who do you think has a bigger dick?
I gotta go with the true brown there and say Floyd's packing. But the thing is, I think Floyd demolishes him. Floyd is not coming back if he thought there was any chance of him losing.
Yeah.
And that actually might be a disadvantage because he's so confident that he might, whatever. Floyd is not going to, he's 49-0 and he retired. He has so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it. I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram. He's going to Dubai. He's just going, he's riding a camel.
According to 50 Cent, he like spends it as fast. That's why he every time that they say that's why he's coming out of retirement because he needs the money.
50 Cent with money, didn't he go like bankrupt?
That he didn't really go bankrupt.
And then he spelled broke with cash on his Instagram. People were like, "Well, you got money," and then he's like, "No, I don't."
Well, when you file bankruptcy, it doesn't always mean you're broke.
True,
do that
absolutely.
for different reasons.
No, I'm just saying. So I mean, whatever. 50 didn't 50 and Floyd have like a beef or whatever? So I mean, he could just be saying whatever. I'm sure Floyd spends a lot of money, but he has a lot of money. You know what I mean? So he could be going back, but he's making other money. I mean, the Mayweather Promotions is still a thing. He still has other boxers under him. I mean, he has some up-and-coming guys now. So I don't think Floyd is necessarily hurting for money. That fight was 2 years ago with his last fight. I don't remember who it was with. But, I mean, I don't think that's a problem. I think that Floyd's going to come and easily win. And I hope that this doesn't – people don't try to undermine the UFC now and see, look, we saw it. They fought.
That's what I'm
UFC
saying.
guy fought a boxer and he won. No, he won in a sanctioned sport that has nothing to do with fighting.
And you know that, but you know that's gonna fucking happen.
Oh, I know it is.
You know they're gonna be talking
and the
shit.
announcers, while it's happening, are like, "Oh, and Conor is so unequipped for Floyd. Oh, Floyd is just simply blocking everything." You know what I mean? They're gonna continue to go on and on and on and on. And it's like, cool, yes, Bring Floyd's ass into the octagon. See what happens.
Yeah.
See if he lasts one round.
We'll give him the not even ranked guy that's gonna have his first UFC fight, and he'll beat the shit out of Floyd.
Mickey Gall should call out Floyd Mayweather. Be like, yo,
oh
man,
my God, how dope would that be?
I had 3 UFC fights. Come on, bro.
Mickey, hey, for sure. Oh my God, I didn't even think.
Mickey
He
Gall,
should. That should be his next guy.
Yeah. It's not realistic, man. There's guys that train at your local gym that, there's brown belts at your local gym. Kamuela, more than likely would beat Floyd Mayweather. And
Kamuela is our producer. People don't even know who we're like. Who the fuck is this Kamuela guy?
Who are they talking to?
Our producer is a brown belt, and he would kick the living shit
He's
out
a
of
fighter. He's 7-2, and he's an up and comer. He should be in the UFC soon. Kamuela, what do you think? You think you can take Floyd?
Oh, 100%. No question.
Floyd.
30-second fight.
Where you at, Floyd?
Real quick, we got a couple minutes left. Last thing, Cody Garbrandt. After his next fight, he wants to make a run at the featherweight title. What do you guys think?
Why the fuck is everyone trying to do something?
How about defend your belt?
You've had the.
After this.
I don't care.
So you're gonna defend it once and then.
I don't care. You know what was awesome about Silva? Silva for 6 years says, "Who wants it? This is my belt."
No,
Who
you know,
wants
but you know
it?
why they're doing it. Everyone's trying to
make the money fights.
No, they're trying to follow the Conor McGregor blueprint. You can't do that. That was his blueprint. Make your own fucking blueprint.
Well, no,
do your own thing.
People want the money, and I get that. But I think that you want to build a legacy too. Right now, I love Conor McGregor. I love how he fights. His style is awesome, and he's backed up pretty much everything that he said. But the thing is, how can you consider Conor one of the greatest fighters ever when he's never defended a belt? How can you put him up there against John Jones, against Anderson Silva,
beat
against
Tony
GSP,
Ferguson, beat fucking
beat
Habib.
Tony, beat Habib, go beat Jose Aldo again, go beat Max Holloway, go defend some of your belts, go show. You can't be the 2-belt champ. They're trying to do 2 interim belts. You have no belts right now. You know what I mean? And now you're going to fight Floyd, and I get it. Make your money, bro.
What's the fucking point of these interim belts? It's like they mean nothing.
They mean nothing.
They literally mean nothing.
It's just for the money part of the sport, and I get that. But it's like,
but it's almost like being champion doesn't mean anything anymore either.
I know. It's like, oh, you're
you're
watering it down, like just like boxing. How many belts are there in boxing? Can you count them? You know what I mean? Like they're watering the sport down, and I don't like it. I like the true champs.
I loved how what's her face Jermaine, after she won the 145 pound fight, before that she was like, yeah, like I'm down for a rematch, and then Joe Rogan was like, well, Cyborg's here. And she actually got her exemption, so she's allowed to fight. Like, and then she looks down and she goes, "Oh, my hand's fucked up."
She was like, "My knee, my neck, God. And my back."
Oh, my dick. So yeah, dude, I thought it was funny. And then, dude, Cyborg's gonna just beat the living shit out of anyone.
I think she'll go take every belt that she can make weight at.
Do you remember when people thought that Ronda could beat her? I was like, "You guys are fucking crazy."
Do you remember when people thought that Ronda could beat men and Ronda could beat up Floyd? Remember that was the thing, Ronda versus Floyd?
Yeah, I remember that. Floyd would go, shut up, bitch, take out this trash. Gadoosh! And just fucking, like, 1-2 her right in the face.
The best response is when Floyd said, Ronda, who? I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
And the thing is, I think it's going to be interesting. You know what I'm really excited about with this Floyd-Conor fight? Is the weeks and months, once it's inked, is seeing that promotion and seeing dude, because you're talking about the 2 best.
Well, not 2. There's more than 2.
Talkers.
You got Mayweather Money Promotions. Where the fuck his thing is? Conor McGregor formed his own promotions, and the UFC's involved. So you got 3 promotions in there.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the 2 fighters talking shit to each other. I want to hear what Floyd's got to say. Conor is, in my opinion, a better shit talker, dude. I think he's the best out right now.
Oh yeah.
But the whole thing is he's so about money. Conor's always like this with his money and stuff like that. His money and Floyd Mayweather's money, there's levels. His money can't talk to Floyd Mayweather's money. He can't go to the same bank that Floyd Mayweather uses.
But he can still piss
yes,
him
he
off.
says things that hit you. He knows how to say those things. And that's why I'm interested in it. But I just hope he keeps money out of it because Floyd will buy him and sell him hundreds of times.
Straight up. Well, I think it's about time we wrap this up. Hope you like
guys,
our little tangent.
That's it. We just wanted a in-between fights. The next UFC card is going to be that Rumble Johnson versus Daniel Cormier fight. We can't wait to share those thoughts with you.
No structure. We just went on
We just gave you guys some info, gave you guys some news. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment below. We appreciate all the love, all the support we can get. I promise you we'll return.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We appreciate all the love and support.
Awesome, man.
Have a good night.